All right, Kate, welcome to Beyond the
Yeah.
Heavy. Girl, look, hey,
Hi.
like I said
So
before
excited.
before the show, you were the first female on Beyond the Heavy, um, which is pretty amazing. We got 2 seasons and we have no females, so it's
I
been
am
a sausage
honored.
fest. So
Uh,
thank you for coming on.
Heavy metal is a sausage fest, but
It
that's a
is.
great thing. I love that.
Yeah, but it's like, hey, let's mix it up. You know what I mean? Let's
Yeah,
mix it up.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
one of the OGs, I started this journey back in 1986.
Mm,
And
okay.
I was kind of the almost famous girl, but I was, a little heavier, kind of like Leather was the lady that I actually replaced in Chastain in
Mm.
1994, was the first heavy metal lady that I listened to. And she goes way back to like 82. But, this specific way of singing, I'm one of the original things. And I think about the ladies that do it now. And I'm like, I remember when I was doing, gigs and tours when you weren't even born yet. So.
I was not.
So I've been doing it, I've
I
been doing it
was,
a long time, but I'm
yeah.
honored to be the first woman on your show.
I
Yay.
appreciate that. No, thank you so
Yay. Yeah,
much.
thank
Thank you.
you for having
And
me.
yeah. And so I want to get into Vainglory. I want to just jump right in.
Yeah.
I had a good opportunity to listen to you guys in the truck at home.
Mhm.
Heavy stuff. Thank you, Ben. Shout out to Ben,
Yeah.
for connecting me with you guys.
Our
I love it.
manager. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Online metal promo. Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's a great guy, and he's helped us out so much. Vainglory just put out this new
Yeah.
double CD, and this is our whole thing. So this is me, and now originally there was one Vainglory, which is 2050, which is the one before, which is on my label Leviathan Records with Chastain, when I sang with Chastain. So
Mm,
Vainglory was started by Chastain, and then I auditioned for Vainglory, and I
mm.
kind of met my husband that way,
Oh, nice.
which is a trippy story. And so now through Benjamin, we're on Animated Insanity and No Dust Records, and they put out this beautiful double CD.
Yeah.
So it's my history with Vainglory and with this whole journey here. I came from California, and I'm now in Georgia.
Oh,
And
right on. Okay, lucky you.
yeah,
You're one of the lucky ones I got out.
yeah. Holy shit. What the
I'm
fuck
still
is
here.
going on?
Yeah, we need
In
help.
the last few years, I cannot believe it. But yeah, Gavin Newsom, holy shit, what the
Yeah.
fuck is that? But
Not just him, all of them.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
my friends, and I grew up in Sacramento, and I was in bands there. I was in a band called Tantrum. I was in a band called Machine Gun Kelly. I was in a band called One Bad Apple. And that's Carl Albert. I don't know if you know Vicious Rumors. Have you ever heard of Vicious Rumors?
No, they don't sound
They're
familiar.
heavy band. They were on Atlantic Records in the
Okay.
day. So when, Atlantic carried maybe 2 metal bands, TNT
Hmm.
and Vicious Rumors, 3, I think, and Testament in the day. And
Oh,
and Vicious Rumors
I
was one of those
I do know
bands.
Testament. I do know
But yeah,
Testament.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, I've hung out with them before. They're killer guys. They're
Yeah,
so nice. Chuck Billy is amazing. And
yeah.
Eric, we hung out
He
with him.
he's a tall motherfucker. Chuck
Yes.
Billy
Oh yeah.
is a
Yeah.
big dude, man.
Yeah, we hang out with him, or we
Yeah.
hung out with him at Foundations Forum. I don't know if you know what that was, but it was in the 80s, or in the early 90s, and it was this group of people that got together. But back to what I was saying,
Mm,
is I was in bands growing up, and I sang for the guy that I replaced, Carl Albert, who was in Vicious Rumors, and he died, but they were a big band. And
mm.
anyway, so now I forgot my fucking point. I was like, what
So
the
did I, but but
like, where did I
yeah.
go?
But I mean, is I guess the way we can go is, understanding that's where, you came up with your sound for Vainglory, right? Like you've always had this history, right, of just being able to have the aggressive vocals, right? Because
Well,
it's
initially what
heavy.
happened was Leather Leone, who was in Chastain. Do you know who she is? Leather
No,
Leone. Okay, so
Leather.
Leather Leone was Chastain back in the day. She was an original vocalist for this band. It was doing really well. They were in all the magazines. They were heavy metal, and I replaced her. In 1994, she dropped out. She just decided she didn't want to do it. And I met up with Chastain at Foundations Forum and I got signed there at Foundations Forum. He has a label called Leviathan Records. So Vainglory was on Leviathan Records. And I was in the middle of the last album with Chastain and getting a divorce. And I met Corbin, who is the guitarist for Vainglory, and that's kind of the history behind that, and that's how it got started. So he was this virtuoso guitarist. David sent me a CD. He's like, "Do you want to audition?" I'm like, I don't know, because I had jammed with a lot of those kind of guitarists, and I finally did. And Corbin and I hit it off, and then we spent all these years, doing this Vainglory stuff. So, and now we've got this 2 CD double that's releasing right now. We've got it on, like I said, Animated Insanity and No Dust Records in Europe. Benjamin actually helps us set that up. So we've got on our Facebook page this where you can get a signed poster and a CD. It's special. It's going on right now. And we were not real rich, so we had to release it on our own record label, which I started, which was called Rebellion Records US. And so this is something that kind of makes that a little bit better because it's a whole booklet and it's the history. It's 2 CDs and it's just killer. So if you go onto the Vainglory Facebook page, you can get this, and that's why we're doing the press right now. We're promoting this double CD. So yeah, it's killer. I mean, if it's got the 2 CDs that I did with them. There was, like I said, 1 CD before, and we're working on a new one right now. But this is my history with this band, and I'm surprised. Leviathan Records was Gus G. I don't know if you know Gus G, but Gus G went to
Firewind, right?
He's in Firewind, so he started out on Leviathan Records as well.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, and then I was in Chastain, and then I met Corbin, and Corbin is a shred guitar. Now, shred guitar isn't real popular anymore, but
kind
is it really? Is it?
I mean, like, and that's funny because like I was talking to some of the cats that I had on the podcast, like a lot of social media stuff, right? The TikTok, the Instagram, right? They're just going crazy. You know what I mean? They're just like crazy guys, but I'm like, the songs aren't there anymore. You know what I mean? And so but that's why I like connecting with not only like yourselves and other bands that Ben will toss me, but like there's songs now. Right. You know what I mean? There's good stuff out there, and that's the thing I like about you guys. Yeah. This album, this last one that we did was called Manifesting Destiny. There's 2 on this one. We did one that was self-titled Vainglory, and then we did this Manifesting Destiny. And it is melodic, but I know you're very, very heavy. I mean, you listen to some heavy ass shit, and I got into that. And so you can kind of see a little bit of that influence, because I wanted to show the women that do that I could do that too. So I got a lot of that kind of thing going on. The guttural stuff.
The guttural stuff. Yeah, of course that's not it, but you can hear it on the record.
Yeah.
I don't do it now.
There's a time and place for it.
Well, I'm not gonna do it right now, but it's on the CD. So that's my kind of first time doing this real heavy stuff. So this is the Manifesting Destiny. The last album we did had elements of the heavier stuff that I've ever done, but mostly, we are, mainstream heavy metal. There's so many different
subgenres, man.
That it's split into. Now, when I was,
it's too much for me. Too much for me.
When I was young, there was one. Heavy metal was like Rob Halford and Iron Maiden and Ronnie James Dio. And that was, the heavier stuff. And I mean, there were some more punk elements like Anthrax and some Forbiddens and some and some things like that. But when I was younger, it went kind of the glam metal type of thing when I was 18 years old, which is what I was doing when I was 18 years old. I love that. So now it's split into like everything, and you're either two things with a female. You're either fairy princess or you're cookie monster. You're either going, and either one, it's like, what the fuck? Because there's no, there's no thing, there's no original kind of thing. I don't hear a lot of what actually was heavy metal back in the day. So you're right. It has transformed to something that's completely different. So even my stuff now is kind of like rock heavy metal. It's kind of a same thing, because we're hearing like Degent and the real fucking heavy shit.
And
I
that's
love that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's the thing. It's just like it has to innovate, right? And I think that's like, kind of like you and I were kind of bred from the old school cloth. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah,
love the old, I'm more old school than the new school, right? And that's not to take, any hits at them or anything like that.
sure.
It's just like, yeah, there has to be room to innovate, right? There
Yeah,
has to be room for new stuff, right? And so like, but when I heard you guys, I was like, okay, it's very modern production, but it's still got the good songs that you could kind of like rock out to, jam out
yeah,
to, that you would hear in the 80s and the 90s. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. A little bit of that, a little bit more modern. Wait till you hear the next thing, though. The next thing we're
Oh,
doing, I just,
you guys, I'm
holy
excited, man.
shit, it's so different. So
No, you
I just
yeah.
put out a new song. It's called Scream It. And Scream
Mm.
It is we're we're my husband has been doing hip hop production for big
Mm.
names. I don't know if you know who Tech Nine is.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, or
yeah,
Rick.
yeah.
Okay, so he wrote a
Mm.
song for them that went #1 on the hip hop charts.
Oh, nice. Okay, right
So
on, right on.
it was called Picture This.
Hmm,
You know,
hmm.
they're the fast rapping, but he did these guitar elements in it. So I thought, okay, so let's take these guitar elements and let's stick this major sub bass in there.
Hmm,
And
hmm.
let's do like a heavy metal type of a hip hop thing. And the song Scream It is like that. And you put that in your fucking car, and your car's like boom, but it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
really loud, but it still has old school elements. So yes, we're taking from everything and kind of crossing in and trying to do something new. And I think that's important, not to be fucking boring and to be dynamic and to be innovative. So
Yeah, of course.
yeah, and I'm doing
Yeah.
solo stuff as well. I've got this new thing that I'm doing now because I've just been in it forever and I've never been a solo artist, and I've always
Mm.
wanted to do, something that represents me. And I play guitar and I
Hmm.
play keyboards and I write in
Okay.
the software age. You can do fucking everything. You can see
Oh,
my shit in the background
yeah.
here. I'm working on a song actually today.
Technology, girl. Technology.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Change the fucking world. I can
Yeah.
play drums now. Holy shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
I just
Exactly.
fucking easy drummer and I'm good to go, But
Who you
you do
telling,
that.
man?
Do you do that too? Are
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I used to be super self-conscious about it, to be honest with you, because I was like,
Yeah.
man, but man, we're in a recession. I don't have time.
Yeah.
I don't have
Well,
money
shit. You could
to
pull up
do
Gene
it.
Hoglan right on the fucking easy drummer.
Don't even get me started on Gene Hoglan, man. I shout him
Okay.
out almost every episode because
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, Burning Legion's looking for a drummer, so hey.
Oh, that's great
But
now.
yeah,
Holy
yeah,
shit.
he's in 1,000 bands, I know, but
Yeah.
still,
Yeah.
but I mean, doing solo stuff. I mean, how do you feel like creatively? How does it compare from doing, the Vainglory stuff to your solo stuff? Are we looking
Well,
different
my solo
material?
stuff I'm doing
Yeah,
is diverse stuff. I'm throwing it out there. And we're talking about Gene Hoglan, and
yeah.
he's like one of my favorite drummers and
Me,
one of
oh,
my favorite guys
yeah.
ever is
This
Devin Townsend. I
this
fucking love Devin Townsend.
strapping young
And
lad, right? Strapping,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh
But he
God.
does everything, I think he's so artistic, and to do a little bit of everything and to create your own sound is, I think, the thing that you really need to do. So with me doing my own stuff, I do a lot of dynamics. So I'll do a pop song and I'll do a metal song. And this last one I did was called Technicolor Blue, and it's like this ethereal Pink Floydy song. So it gives me a chance to do kind of everything. And I think as a listener and as a lover of music throughout the years, that you like everything. When you're
Yeah.
a kid, you listen to what your mom and dad listened to, and then you gravitated into some heavier stuff that you like, gives you more power. And I want to take people through the gamut of that. I want them to feel empowered and feel reflective. They're gonna, on this Technicolor Blue song, they're going back to when they were kids and remember when there was no fucking bullshit and nothing to think about, and just and getting into some depth of life and death and that kind of thing. So I think in doing my own thing,
Mhm.
it gives me the opportunity to do what the fuck I want to do. I'm not fucking worried anymore. I'm
Yeah.
54 years old. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
dude, you don't like this, okay, fuck you. I
Yeah.
don't fucking
Yeah.
care anymore. I really don't.
Yeah.
So because you know what I mean, you get
Yeah.
past a certain
Yeah.
point where you're like, okay, you like it or you don't, and really it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay, because everything is so subjective, and what one person loves another person hates, and there isn't
Absolutely.
anything you can do about that. So
Yeah.
my advice to people that are doing music now is to do you and to do what you want. And so in doing that, sometimes I think bands can you know, get you into this box, you know,
Yeah,
where you're in this music, you've got
I
this
agree.
fan base, and maybe they have a specific thing they've listened to. But I think we're kind of getting away from that a little too. But being a solo artist allows me to really just wipe that out
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
just be me and
Yeah.
just do what I want. So if I'm gonna, you know, put on a little outfit and dance to a pop metal song, or do what I want and look beautiful, or, you know, and I was so stuck in that rut of being this specific thing. And now
Mm,
I can
mm.
just be a woman and be me, you know, and I'm not,
There you
I'm
go.
I'm super conservative. I'm all for, I love men,
Mm.
and you know, I'm not you know, not gonna fix you a fucking sandwich if you're my husband, you know. I'll fix you fucking the best dinner you ever fucking ate, and then I'll, you know, do other I mean, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do I'm not like that. So
Yeah.
it's a matter of being able to express myself fully, and you know, not
Woman warrior. There you go.
yeah,
Woman
just
warrior.
be
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
be, you know,
Yeah,
just
because
be
I
a
mean, the,
woman.
yeah, and that's the thing. I guess you know, as an artist, that's the important thing. Is like, hey, I can do this stuff, but I could
Yeah,
also do this stuff. I want to show you what I can do,
right,
right?
right,
Because
great
there's,
item.
yeah, and there's different ways to express it, right? And I think you know, and safe to say, you know, men or women in the metal scene have been more open. Right, have been more receptive to that, you know,
Yeah,
because that's where we're seeing these new subgenres of, you know, gent, new metal, stuff like
yeah,
that, because
yeah.
people are being a little bit more open-minded about
Right,
it. Yeah.
right. That's true. And what you haven't told me what you do, because are you a guitarist or are you a singer?
Oh, no, I'm a bass player. So,
Oh,
so, so that's why I'm
okay.
doing a podcast because no one cares what I have to say.
Oh, sure they
No,
do. I
no,
love bass players.
I'm just joking.
They're
I'm joking.
awesome.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Want to jump in really quick to tell about one of my favorite brands and my brothers over at Heavy Defender Merch. Heavy Defender Merch products are a must-have for any heavy metal fan. Their banners, pins, and apparel is made from high-quality materials that feature bold, eye-catching designs that are truly to capture the essence of the metal lifestyle. The shirts are comfortable and durable as hell, man. The hoodies are perfect for when you're leaving the whiskey and it's fucking 2 o'clock in the morning, it's cold as shit. Heavy Defenders offers a great selection of products for any metalhead looking to represent their passion in freaking style. With unique designs and quality material, hey, check out HDM. No,
I
no, yeah, no. One thing about no, I play bass. I had a solo thing too, right? Kind of like what you were saying. I had solo stuff, and then I made, you know, Burning Legion. Got to represent yourself, right? You got
right
to love
on.
yourself, right?
Oh, hell
To
yeah.
love others, right? But you know, that's what I did, you know, and that's why like I just did this podcast because I love meeting individuals like yourself,
Yeah,
right? Other young cats, older cats, doesn't matter, and
yeah,
and hearing their story, right? Like
yeah,
that's why I asked you. I was like, hey, what's the difference between the you know, Kate and Vainglory or
yeah,
her solo stuff? What's the difference? Tell me that story, right? Because each musician is a universe, right? It's their
yeah.
own little like understanding of the world and how I'm going to express it. And then hearing you, and you're just like, look, I want to do me. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna let
Right.
loose. I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
handle
do whatever the
business.
fuck I want. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. But
definitely.
in Vainglory, it's yeah, you can still do that, but it's more of a collaborative effort with the other guys in the band, correct?
Right. It's more
Right.
of a specific, we have a specific
Yeah.
fan base, I think, that likes, you know, that classic kind of heavy metal. And that's where we
Yeah.
come from. So we're doing a
Yeah.
lot of that too. But everything, you know, has a different outlet for you. What and do you have a band with the is it Burning Legion?
Yeah, it's Burning Legion. Yes.
Do
Yeah.
you have a band with them?
Yeah. It's a studio band more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's the way to go nowadays, because you go
Yeah.
to gigs and you do your thing and it's just so fucking complicated. You know, there's so
Yes.
much, you got so much money you spend, you go and you gotta, you know, everybody's got to be okay, you know, nobody's sick, nobody's this, that, you know, and getting people together to rehearse. And it's just better to, you know, get your product together and then get some good people that actually want to do it, and then go out and maybe do a festival gig or something like that and do a one-off.
Absolutely.
But nowadays, you know, it's recording and video, it's visual, it's that kind of thing too. But
Absolutely.
back to what we were talking about with
Yeah.
your individuality, what drives you as far as your music goes? What do you feel?
Oh, for me? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wait, we are, oh, man, Kate, you were flipping the script on me. Yeah, no, I mean, for me personally, everything is music. Everything to me is life. It's the frequencies, it's the bass, it's everything you can think of.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I love about not only just this podcast, but about Burning Legion is that I got two cats with me that are monster guitar players, amazing dudes, right?
Yeah.
And we could express ourselves, right? And the thing about Burning Legion is, again, kind of like what you said, like, hey, don't put us in a box because
Yeah.
there ain't no box for us, right? And that's what
Right.
I wanted to do. And not only just not poke fun of any certain issue or anything. I wanted to talk about like mental health. I wanted to talk about empowerment, kind of like when I heard your guys' song Coming Back, I was like, ooh, I like that. Like
Yeah.
I got
Good
me, I
for
was like,
you.
oh
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
yeah,
It's a person that actually has some fucking depth.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So
So
yeah, I mean, it's important
yeah,
too as writers,
yeah,
you've got something that you're saying
yeah,
in the song. And
yeah.
yeah, coming back, you gotta not worry about what other people think. A lot of people, and I found this a lot of times too, they're not going to be happy that you're
Mm,
successful. And I don't know
yeah.
why the fuck that is, because
Well,
when a friend of mine's doing something or something, I'm like, yeah,
yeah.
do that. But there's some kind of weirdness that goes on sometime.
It's
And
it's it's jealousy. It's jealousy.
yeah,
It's insecurity. Yeah.
well,
And I'm gonna be real with you, Kate. There's times when, when I was growing in my career, and
yeah,
I bet maybe you can agree with me too,
yeah,
is that, we would have that little knot in our stomach, like, ah, damn, it could have been us or whatever. But we nip that right in the bud and be like, no, but that's their win, right? And
yeah,
we still have the rest of our life to live. We still have the rest of our career to go and improve ourselves, right?
you're on the
E-
same page as I am.
Exactly.
Exactly. You're
Yeah,
on the
there's
same
there's
page.
friendly competition, but at the end of the day,
A competition. I don't,
yeah, what, yeah.
here's the thing is that I consider music an art,
Yeah.
and like an artist, like when you're making a painting, there's no one that's going to make the same painting that you make, it's your
Hmm.
individual thing. And so I don't believe in any kind of competition with anyone.
Mm,
I've never believed that. And it's, that song, your legacy's your own, you've got to, focus on what you're doing,
yeah,
it's not about what anybody's doing, because everybody's such an individual. So there shouldn't ever be any jealousy for anything that
exactly.
anyone is doing. There always should be the support of art and artistic, the love of art, because I believe that art brings you closer to source energy, and it
Hmm.
makes you, you know, it makes you closer and to everyone, even collectively. There's some feeling that you get, when you are writing or when you're playing, that resonates, and that is just the phenomenal feeling. And that's, I think, in the beginning of music, when I started as a really young kid, I started in like fourth grade playing baritone, horn, and trombone,
Mm,
and singing. And it's the singing too, and the harmony, when you're clicking with other people, there's some
yeah,
kind of thing that happens in that makes you feel closer to your creation
yeah,
and your creator. And that's what it is for me, is that source energy and that vibration. And you kind of hit on it a little bit, what you were talking about. And there's a lot of that today. I think people are getting closer to knowing and to feeling that, and to knowing how much that matters, and the depth of things,
yeah,
and saying what you feel and what you mean, and being able to get across. And in this platform and what we're doing in this kind of art, we have the opportunity to really, get this across to people. And I think that that's a gift, and it's so important. And I feel, I feel like it's a gift from God for me. And you can call it whatever you want, and people call it. And, I believe that everyone has the choice to believe what they want to believe when they live or die. I'm not someone that judges anyone for this, that, blah,
of
blah,
course.
blah,
Yeah,
because that's bullshit. And maybe
yeah,
somebody is this or that, they can believe what they want, and that's fine. But for me, this brings me closer to the energy that is love, and
yeah,
that is the whole, that brought us here.
hmm,
So
yeah,
yeah,
I
I
agree.
love music, and to express ourselves, like you said, and coming back, you fly so high, you're above it all,
Yeah,
that's what the
yeah,
chorus says. It keeps you, it makes you over, you're overwhelmed by it, but it's your heart that keeps you coming back
oh
from,
yeah,
and it always is. And you know you have to, when you start thinking about other people and what this person or that person's doing, you have to get off of that and get really focused on what you're doing, because you are the most important thing, and your message and your individuality and your message is what matters. And so,
Yep.
you know, that's what I would say to any person. And I'm, like I said, I'm 54, I've been doing this forever. And I was that way in the past a little. There was some kind of weirdness there.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was Henry too. That's
Yeah.
what it's pointing at that younger age, right?
Yeah.
It's not even like, maybe lack of a better word. Maybe I didn't use the word correctly, competition, but it's more like, it's like absorbing this information and just being like, look, they're winning, I want to win too. Right.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
like almost like siblings, right? Like you
Yeah.
love your sister, you love
Yeah.
your
Now
brother.
that's a big thing when you're younger.
Yeah. Oh,
That's a
yeah.
big- yeah,
Oh, that's a
now-
big, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you were
Yeah.
trying to, you know, what do you want to do with your music? What is it that you want to do?
Oh, me specific?
Yeah.
Oh, just tour the world. Tour the
Do you
world,
want
girl.
to tour?
Yeah,
Touring
not,
sucks ass.
well, not only,
Fucking sucks.
but not only that,
But
no,
but as a younger person, you'll love it.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
saying, but I'm saying in the sense of touring the world and
Yeah.
then, you know, providing for my family, right?
Oh, yeah.
Doing,
Oh,
know,
yeah.
that's my goal, right? If
Right.
touring is like 5th, 6th, 7th, 17th thing that I have to do, cool.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
first and foremost,
Yeah.
I want to put food on the table.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
my thing. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, if people love my music, and like I've even told people, like, not only that I want to do Brain Legion stuff, my solo stuff, but I'll compose music for movies. I don't care. Like,
That's what I want to do.
yeah,
I love that. You know,
yeah.
I have a friend, Paul Taylor, and he
Mhm.
plays keyboards for
Mhm.
Winger. I
Oh,
don't know
no
if
way.
you know who Winger is,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, they were big in the day. They were, you know, on MTV, they were up and coming, and they did really well, and they were touring stadiums and doing all kinds of things. But Kip Winger,
Mhm.
he does a lot of orchestration and scoring and things like that.
Yeah.
And he was nominated for a Grammy. They just came out with a new album, Winger did. It's called Seven, and it's fucking phenomenal.
No.
The music that they write and the message that they send is incredible. But I'm telling you all this because we're talking about orchestration, and
Yeah.
Kip was nominated for a Grammy, and he has some albums, some symphonic stuff that he's released. He has one album that he's released, Ghosts,
Mhm.
and he does that. I'm trying to get him into scoring. I'm like, dude, score, you know. But my
Yeah.
son was
Yeah.
actually named after Trevor Rabin. I have a 25-year-old son,
Okay.
and he's a drummer.
Okay.
And
Oh, so we're talking after? No, I'm just
I just had my band, you know, you just have your band.
yeah. Yeah.
No, I just have one son, and
Uh-huh.
then my guitarist husband. My son actually played on the last record, so he's
Oh,
phenomenal.
nice.
Yeah, he's a great drummer.
Nice.
And he actually does high school instruction too for drum lines.
Oh, no way.
He's been doing that. He did that in high school, and then he does, like, what do they call it? Leaders as animals, or animals as leaders.
Oh, animals as leaders?
Yeah,
Oh, those
he does
guys.
that kind of stuff.
Wow.
So he is incredible. He's incredible. You know, he can just do whatever, but he's a great drummer. But back to Kip, if you're into, and Trevor Rabin. Trevor Rabin was in a band
Okay.
called Yes, but Trevor Rabin scores all kinds of movies. So yeah, I mean, I have a website. It's katefrench-myvoice.com, and I've done voiceovers, and I've
Oh,
done,
nice.
yeah. So I did
Okay,
that for a
okay.
while, and I did radio. So
Oh, shit.
when I was like,
All right.
you know, I do all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Oh, nice.
And
Hell yeah.
it was fun. You know,
Yeah.
I did it for the local radio station here, and it was actually, I had a, you know, call thing, Kate French, heart, soul, and rock and roll. I have my little thing, and I'm so proud of it.
Yeah.
So it was fun, and I did that. But the scoring, yeah, I mean, if I could bring that, what I heard was there's a lot of what Paul has said, Paul Taylor, who is the guy that's in Winger, that it was, there's a lot of real, like, geniuses that are scoring that they can just, like, you know, pick apart things, like, and tell you all this theory stuff. And I mean, that doesn't scare me at all.
That doesn't scare me either. Yeah, because I've listened, you know, like when we're talking, you know, top of the top, because I love John Williams, I love James Horner, you know, because when I saw Star Wars, you know, Star Wars had amazing music, you know what I mean? And when I saw Braveheart, and I think that's, you know, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. But listening to the music when I was like 5 years old, watching that movie, I was like, that stuck with me still till this day. I'm like, I want to do that. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, oh, who's the composer? I'm like, at
Right.
when I had it,
Right.
when I had technology, hey, who's James Horner? Okay, what is he doing? What else did he do? And listening to that, I'm like, I want to do that, right?
So,
It's tough.
so what DAW? What do you use a DAW? Do you have
Yeah,
a
yeah. I use
DAW?
Cakewalk, so because it's
Cakewalk.
free.
Okay, okay. I have
Yeah,
Reaper.
yeah.
I use
Oh,
Reaper.
nice,
A
nice.
lot of people use Logic
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
Apple. A lot of the entertainers use that. I was just asking because of the software that you can use for string sounds, and
Oh,
I
yeah,
have Nexus, and so
yeah.
I use some of the software, some of the string sounds off of there. But it is just incredible in this day and age with the software. And I was going to ask you, is there a specific string sound that you like in any of your software, or
To be honest with you, I use the Tune Track, the Easy Mix stuff, right? And
okay.
then there's like a built-in one in the in Cakewalk in the Sonar stuff,
Okay.
which I'm cool with,
Sonar. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't really mind like if it's not super high production, because I'm a big Nine Inch Nails fan too. And
Ah,
so
I'm huge.
you,
Trent
yeah.
Reznor, he's
Oh,
my jam. Holy
don't
shit.
even again. Don't even get me started on that motherfucker,
Oh
because
yeah. Oh Lord. I
well,
I
because
have a
he's
story
composing
about
music
him.
too.
I had
Yeah.
the worst fucking crush on him when I was a kid in
Shit, I still do.
1990.
I don't care.
He's a fucking
Yeah,
genius.
yeah, yeah.
So in 1991, a girlfriend of mine, she's like, I got these Nine Inch Nails tickets. You want to go? And I always had my demo tape. This is before I was signed. Always had
Mm,
my demo tape to
mm,
hand and to someone. And at
mm.
that time, I was very into industrial music.
Yeah.
So I had this song called Struggle and all these things. And it was, very, very, industrial, because I had a friend that was an industrial producer and he put my voice on it. So I thought I'd try to, check that out, because it's very close to metal in the
Mm,
way that it sounds. And so I went to this concert and I brought my tapes and stuff in my purse. I made these tapes specifically for Trent Reznor because I was
mm.
going there. I was going to meet with him. I was going to hand him a tape. Okay. So he was dating Tori Amos at the time.
Yeah.
So Tori Amos was in town. She was actually playing at the other amphitheater across the way. And
It's weird how those two met, right?
I
Like
know,
those
I
two,
know,
but whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't really know how that happened
yeah,
exactly. It
yeah.
fucking sucked because I wanted to meet him. And I never got the chance to, but funny story, I
Yeah.
was in the audience and I'm just standing there
Mm,
and Twiggy's there and he's right
mm.
next to me and he's like, you're really cute. And I'm like, really? Okay. And he's
Nice.
like, and he goes, you want to go backstage? And I'm like, oh yeah.
So easy
Uh,
for girls. It's so
uh,
easy. It's like you're like, oh, here, go. And I'm like,
so so
I
I
gotta,
was like,
yeah,
yeah, I was like, hell yeah. So I
yeah,
always saw those things as opportunities to hand out my fucking demo tape.
of
All
course.
my girlfriends wanted to do other things and had other things in mind. Yes,
Mm,
they're wild. I have a lot of wild girlfriends and I had a
mm,
lot wild, back then. But my thing was to get my demo tape to the person that I could get them to. This was before I was signed to Leviathan Records. So
mm.
Jim Rose Circus was back there and we went back to the hotel room and Marilyn Manson was there. Twiggy is in Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson was
Yeah,
opening for Nine Inch Nails at the
of course.
time. So we were in the hotel room with Marilyn Manson. And I dusted my girlfriends because they didn't get a fucking pass. I was like, dude, I'll find a way home. See you later. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
give a fuck at that time.
Mm,
So I went back and I hung out with the keyboard player and we talked about his girlfriend while they were like in the closet doing their thing or whatever they were doing. They were,
mm.
getting wild, but I never got an opportunity to give my demo to Trent. I gave it to the keyboard player for Marilyn Manson and I just had a good time talking with them. But that's my Nine Inch Nails story. And I know every lyric and every album that they've had, starting with Pretty Hate Machine.
Oh,
So, I
yeah.
mean, I'm just the way that he can take a simplistic song and give so much meaning to it was mind blowing to
No,
me.
he's a modern day Mozart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal. Like I was like 14, I think,
Yeah.
when Downworld Spiral came out,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was just like,
This
fat
is the
Salvador.
first day of my last day.
When
Yeah.
I'm sitting there having my head, I'm like, he wrote this for me. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I was like, he knows who I am.
And
Like, no, yeah.
that is the thing of a great songwriter. If you can write something too that really hits home with people. And Winger, and that sounds silly. I know there's a lot of people that don't know Winger or whatever, but
Yeah, they sing she's only 17, right?
yeah, but
Right?
he's evolved into this, he writes these songs that are really for, the listener, and he just went through a divorce, and it, he's got a lot of that kind of thing, but he's got a lot of, for me, I've written songs that are very seductive because that's who I am. I like that kind of thing, and I like
Yeah.
to make people feel that. But he has a few songs like that as well, and he kind of taught me that. But he has a song called Voodoo Fire, and it's very, seductive and what he's doing, and it kind of takes you. If you can write a song that takes a person to another place, like Nine Inch Nails does, I think that that's the best thing ever, and that's what I want to do.
Yeah. No,
that's
and
my goal.
mission accomplished. Mission, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, like I'm saying, when I heard the song coming back, I was like, whoa. I was like, okay, what like I would, if I was in the gym, everybody get the hell out. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
it was that empowering, right?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Yeah,
absolutely.
I love it. The new songs scream it, and the new songs going forward, and the songs that we've written individually without an album are songs that have been, since COVID happened, and
Yeah.
and really, songs to help people, and songs to take people away and out of that element of everything that's gone on over the last couple years. So
Well, and you know what? And not only that, because I'm a sucker for artwork, and
mhm.
the cover is just, that's what it screams. It's like, it's very epic, very like, hey, I'm here in your face. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
I
what it
like it.
is it's the choice.
Mhm.
The ball is a choice that we make, and we had to do everything ourselves because we didn't have any fucking money. We're
Mm.
poor, basically. And this is one of the albums that we did for Rebellion Records US, but it's it's heaven and hell, it's the angel and the devil type thing, and then the
Mhm.
choices that you make are in the middle. And it is what it is, and it's what we did. But you know I'm just proud of the fact, and here's one of the things that, as I don't know how old you are. How old are you?
You want to guess?
Probably in
Yeah,
your 30s.
yeah, 35. Yeah.
35.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, I remember 35.
yeah.
I remember when I was 35.
Yep,
No,
yep.
but it's just the completion of things.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. One of the things, and this is one of the things with the actual album itself, it's one of the CDs in here. This
Mhm.
took us a long time to finish because, like you said, we were paying our mortgage, and we were working. I was working my ass off trying to take care of things. I bought a house,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
we had to have security, so this came second
Mhm.
as to what we were doing. But the fact of the matter is, it took a long time, but and I learned, and why I'm doing this 2-week thing is finishing.
Mhm.
You have to
Yeah.
finish your work.
Yeah.
The hardest thing in my stuff, and I've done it so many times, is the procrastination and thinking that what you have is not good enough. And it's
Mhm.
bullshit. And
Yeah.
you have to throw it out there, and you have to do it. So finishing something, and this is a conglomeration of that. This is why I'm proud of this, is that it really didn't matter what it was. It matters most that we fucking did it.
Yeah.
We got it
Yeah.
out there, and we did it. And
Yeah.
so that and we finished it, and a lot of people loved it, and our fans loved it. And I'm lucky enough to have people that have followed me and that like what I do, and who I am, and that is such a blessing. And I'm so grateful for all of my friends. I call them my friends because anybody that purchased this is my friend, and I'm honored, and I have such gratitude for them. And I know a lot of people that have made it a little bit more as far as that, but I don't think even if I would have made it a little bit bigger than I did, would I've been that much of a fucking asshat.
Yeah.
And treating my fans like dog shit.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
You have, you have your fans, you have people that appreciate it, and no matter how big, and I'm telling you this because you might be the next Metallica, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen with you, and you don't either. And it
Yeah.
could happen. You could do
Bo-
whatever,
both of us, we still ain't done. You know what I
yep,
mean? We still
yep,
ain't done until the
yep, you're
wheels
not.
fell off,
No,
and
you're
so
not.
I agree with you. I agree
Yeah.
with you. And
And
that's
you
the
don't.
thing, and that's the thing I was kind of talking about in one of my segments in the podcast, is just like,
Yeah.
always come back to the music, finish it. doesn't like how you were saying, finish it, go
Right,
back, don't stop, right?
right,
Because the
right,
sooner I
right.
even said it in one of the interviews. I was like, if you stop, that means your soul is dead. Like you've let your soul down. Like you've disappointed the artist,
Mhm.
the
You
the music.
disappointed yourself. It's all
Exactly.
about you. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's all about you. And
Yeah.
I know so many people too that will sit in a closet and woodshed and think that they're not good enough.
Yeah.
And that's the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
People thinking they're not good enough. People thinking it's not good enough. Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
If
Just pop it
if
out there.
one person listens to it, you're good. You're fine.
Well,
Yeah.
it's you. It's fulfilling your soul. It's fulfilling your life. And here's what's going to happen is, 50 years from now, my, grandchild is going to pull this out and say, this is my, grandma. And they're going to say, be proud of that. And
Yeah.
that's all that matters to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I don't care about anything else. I don't care. But too, with the people that do listen and do take the time, I have a lot of appreciation and come to the shows. We've had some good fans that have driven, one guy drove from Pennsylvania to Atlanta to see, shows and to
Oh,
see
nice.
us perform.
Nice.
And people flew with us to Mexico when we had shows there. And there's a lot of people that you don't know that are your fans that are,
Oh,
you know what I
that
mean?
that is so true.
And
So
I'm
true.
grateful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
whenever you have someone that says, I listen to your stuff, it's great. Make sure to, that I'm so thankful, thank you. Because a lot of people that I know that are a little bit over won't do that. And I'm not sure why that is. I guess it's because they get the constant attention and they think that it's just going to be there forever, but it's not.
It depends. It depends, because you've seen, and we've seen the top of the top, right? We've
Yeah.
seen Iron Maiden. We've seen some of these cats, right?
Yeah.
And they're grateful. You know what I mean? Because
Oh yeah.
I hear nothing but good things about all six of those of the members of that band, right?
Yeah.
You don't hear any controversy or nothing. No, that they're
Right.
still sweethearts, right? And they're
Yeah.
one of the biggest bands in the world. But
Right.
there's some other bands that I'm not going to name any names, but like, dude, you're just touring your US, dude. You're calm down. Like, you know what I mean? And so it just
Yeah.
depends on the person. It's the character, because then the real fans are gonna stay, right? People are gonna really see that. People are
Yeah.
really gonna resonate, like, oh, is Mayhem really an asshole? Or is he walking the walk, right? Is
Yeah.
Kate about it? Well,
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna find out. And
Yeah.
we're still growing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
I think it's just person per person. And
It's you being true
yeah,
to yourself and then
yeah,
being kind to others. And I
of
do
course.
think it is about getting everybody, together. And I think that it's community too. I mean, when someone listens, when they go to a show, they want to be part of you. They want to, they want to just share that with you.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of people forget that's such an important thing, to connect with your fans and to connect with people that care about what you do. So as a young man, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, but I mean, it's still, even though you're telling me, you're telling our audience, it's still for you too, right? And we're
Yeah.
learning from
Yeah.
ourselves. Yeah,
It's
man.
it's
Yeah.
that it's that I don't for me it's different. I don't have any kind of, and I think letting go of the stigma of whether someone's going to like it or not is a big deal.
Yeah.
Just don't hold on to what other people are going to think, and just do what you feel. And I think that those people that do that are the ones that are the most successful, the ones that have let go of that. Oh my gosh, I gotta do this and like this because are somebody going to like it? And you're going to do it from your heart, and then
Yeah.
and then your success will follow, I believe.
Exactly.
And do what you do. And I know a lot of people that are very successful, and that's what they've done, is they do that. And for me, like I said, as an older person now, and I'm done, worrying about anything. And
Yeah.
I just do what I love. And for you, I wish you luck with what you're doing.
Oh,
I
thank you
have
so
to
much, Kate.
listen to your stuff now. Since you listened to mine,
Likewise.
I gotta
I,
see what you are about and
oh, well,
listen.
yeah, no, definitely. I'm gonna put it in the chat. I'll put it in the chat for you. Okay.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Hey everybody, jumping in real quick just to let you know about today's sponsor, Metal and Iron. Are you a gym goer? Do you like listening to metal? Do you like lifting heavy? Well, Metal and Iron's got you covered with shirts and designs that are there to let people know that you're about the heavy lifestyle. None of this Gymshark shit, none of this Adidas, Nikes, nah, you're there to lift the heavy shit. So check it out, use the code BEYONDHEAVY for 15% off and let them know Mayhem sent you.
I mean, I want to ask you,
Okay.
from a musician perspective,
Yeah.
and since you're the first woman that's on here, this is more tailored to you.
Okay. Okay.
I want to ask you, how is it, being a female in a metal band, right? What is it like? I want to ask, like, I don't want to say like, what is that like, but
No, you can
how
say
does
exactly what you want.
yeah, like what is that like? Because I know there's some guys, as we were talking about, that are being like, oh man, it's a chick, but then there's some that are like, oh, finally we see a woman on stage singing. How do you take that? Because you seem very confident and freaking, prideful and ready to go. How do you do it? What are some of the things that you could give other female, musicians advice? What would you have to say to that?
Well, I being a female and I love people, and I've always been close to my male musician, close to my friends, growing up.
Mm,
I have more guy friends than I do girlfriends. And I guess it's just because I'm not, and I'm so open. I'm
mm,
not a person, and I love people. And maybe it's because I didn't grow up as being anything that's, holier than thou or anything. I'm just a person, and I just talk to people, and I love people. And growing up in the metal, in the business, I never had any kind of, and people ask you that a lot as a female, and I'm sure they ask a lot of the, metal people.
mhm.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic to be unique. I love that. And, it never really bothers me or anything. I admire men and what they do. And everyone, like I said, is an individual, as an artist. So, but it feels great, man. I'm
Yeah.
honored. I've always been that way. I love, the machismo of metal. I love I do,
Yeah.
and I'm, like I said, I'm a very conservative, or I like men. Okay. I'm not,
Mhm.
I'm not a feminist. I'm not anything like that. So I don't have anything against anybody. I'm not trying to grow a pair of fucking nuts or anything, 'cause that ain't gonna happen. And,
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
and
uh-huh.
I've never been that way. I've never been one it's, and then there's a lot of very masculine women that are, I'm not that. So I'm very proud of being in this industry with male domination. And I love all my friends that are guys, and I respect them, and they know that,
Yeah.
and they respect me for that, and they know who I am, and that I'm just me, that
Yeah.
I've never, and I'm not going to be like, or have some kind
Uh-huh.
of
Yeah.
weird, I'm just kind of like, blah, 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 here I am,
I think that's where the stigma comes around, right? That's just like, there's sometimes some people, maybe the media, maybe social media, whatever it may be, it creates this stigma in
Yeah,
our genre, where it's like,
yeah,
dude, like, come on, man, like, everyone's invited to the party, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like we don't have to gatekeep women, we don't have to gatekeep this. Like, dude, everybody's welcome to the barbecue. You know what I mean?
right, right,
Yeah,
right,
no.
right,
And
right,
so that's
yeah,
why I wanted to ask you that question, because it's like, we see the haters, right? We see
yeah,
some of them, and they're like, oh, well, whatever. She's going to guttural. Oh, why didn't she sing clean? Like, brother, just shut the fuck up and enjoy the song, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Just let her do her
right.
thing.
Like
Like,
I
you do it,
said,
motherfucker. Like,
right, right. Everybody's got their individual painting and their individual thing that they're doing, and with that in mind, I just have an open mind. I love, and it is like an art gallery. Music is like that. Like, you go into an art gallery and you sit and you look
oh,
at the painting, and each individual painting has a different thing that it has to bring. And there's some things that you appreciate about that, and there's some things that you don't. And if you take the time to look, then you'll see something that you appreciate in every single thing. And that's the truth about music too. So
I
uh
well
I've
said.
never had any kind of, and I've been doing this since the 80s.
Yeah.
So when it wasn't popular for a woman to be in front, I was honored. I had, so much support and so many friends that did what, I did. And I just have always loved it. I love metalheads. I love masculine men. That's the thing, is that I just respect and admire people. And that's who I am. And so I've never had any kind of weirdness or issue.
And you know what's the beauty of it is that you could hear it in the music.
Yeah.
You could hear it. I'm telling you, when I heard your guys' album, you could hear it in your voice. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That the passion is there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The anger, the frustration, the happy, the sad, everything that
Mhm.
you're pouring out. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, she's got it, man. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Like
Thank you.
that's, even though like I'm hearing the riffs and the music and stuff, but I'm like, dude, look, listen to her though. Like, shut up. Like, can I just take out the band for a second? Let's hear the
Thank you.
isolated tracks. You know what I mean? And
It is.
I'm a big
Very
advocate for
passionate.
that. Yeah, I'm a big advocate for that because I mean, even with the stuff for Burning Legion, even my solo stuff, a lot of females in my imagery. I'm trying, I bring that out, right? Because I think it's important. I think it's important. I'm one of those guys. I'm like, dude, women are stronger than men. I'll be on record as saying that. You know what I mean? And then when
Oh
we
no.
have it, well, I mean,
No
like
fucking
what?
way.
Well,
Dude.
no, not physically, not physically, but
Right, right, right.
I'm saying like you guys are the givers of life. You know what I mean? You guys are, it's a beautiful thing to have
There's a
women.
balance. Yeah.
Yeah, there's of course, obviously,
Yeah.
but I just think women are so like the givers of life, right? Like someone like yourself and other female fronted bands, they do it in such passion. It's like, fuck yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah. Like they're saying like, hey, even though decades of just male, being fronted, we could do it too. And I'm like, that's what it's about. You know what I mean? Guttural or sing, it doesn't matter. Everybody. Yeah.
Right, right. Yeah. You know, I've been doing this a long time, that style, and Leva Leone, who was the person that was before me, has a similar kind of style. And she was in this band called Chastain, and I sang with Chastain and replaced her in 1994. And so she had that similar style, but I took my elements like Rob Halford and James Hetfield and kind of added them. She was more Dio and I was more Hetfield Halford. And so I took that. And then I kind of melded my own thing. And now with Vainglory, I've had my own sound. And over the years now I've been doing this. I will tell you too, for any musician that thinks that they can't do something, I would fucking sucked. I mean, I was horrible.
Humble beginnings, right?
Yeah, when I was little, I was 17, 18 when I started my first band, but I had this feeling of what I wanted to do. So I've kind of melded, over the years myself into this thing that I am, that I want to be, that I want to represent. And that's my voice. And I think it is unique and I think it is different. And I think it is powerful and I can hit and do things just because I've been doing it for so long that a lot of people can't do. So I'm so open-ended to things. Like I can hit Mariah Carey whistle voice, and then I can hit Rob Halford highs, and then I can hit guttural lows if I want. And I can go through the range of stuff just because it's an art. And I've been trying and doing this art and practicing this art for so many years. So
absolutely,
there's a little bit of different flavors on that. And that's the thing that people, will hear when they hear me, is that it's kind of everything, but it goes back. I'm a fine wine.
No, but no, you hit it right on the nail with the Halford stuff. Because when I'm telling you, when I heard you, the first introduction, because I like hearing the album from 1, 2, and 3, like the way it is. And when I heard you on the first track, I was like, oh, like I was driving and then went like this. I went like I took a double take. I was like, whoa, like, is this like, whoa, is this really happening right now? So when you said Halford, I was like, yep, exactly.
Yeah. I love Rob Halford. I don't like his assless chaps much, but
I know.
I had an opportunity to meet him one time down at Foundations Forum. I was I don't know. Have you ever heard of Foundations Forum? Do you know what that is?
The Foundations Forum? No. That's a venue, right?
So what it is back in the early 90s and late 80s, they had this conference where people would come together in Burbank, and it was like a class. And during the day, you would have classes. Sharon Osbourne was there, and they would teach you the business of heavy metal, and it was killer.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so they had a weekend. They had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they teach you that. And so we went there, and you would, in the day, you go to classes, and at night you would fucking rage.
Okay.
Oh my God. You would rage.
Scholar in the afternoon.
Oh,
party at night. Yeah.
So I raged a little too hard. And I was supposed to meet Rob Halford. He had a meet and greet. They had meet and greets in between. They had all the schedule in this big book. And they said, Rob Halford, 4:00. and I got so sick, and from drinking, and I was young. I was in my 20s, in my early 20s, and I didn't get the chance to meet him, but I met Bruce Dickinson.
Oh, nice, nice.
And he came up to me, and I was with the president of Mercury Records, and we were talking, and he comes up and he's like bouncing around. I'm like, oh my God, Bruce Dickinson. That was so cool.
Yeah.
But Foundations Forum, I wish they had something like that these days for people, but the industry has changed so much.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And are you doing your own record label, or have you decided what you want to do to go forward?
Pretty much right now I'm doing in the process of doing an LLC, getting the band all signed up with that, all the business stuff, right? And then kind of seeing where it goes from there. I got to see what I could do, maybe get on a label, maybe not, it's got to make sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want to be respectful for the people that are on the other side as much as for me, right? So and especially for the guys that are in the band too, right? I got to hear what is it going to make sense for them. It's got to make sense for me. But I know some people were like, hey, like, I want to write music, and I want to get money. I know there's way more than that. There's a lot of logistical things that go into play with that.
Yeah.
But for me personally, like, I would love to get signed. If it makes sense, let's have a conversation, right?
Which
I'm open to
label?
it. Me? Oh man, I remember back in the day I was throwing demos at, Metal Blade, Nuclear Blast, those guys, you're right, Century Media, like those guys, but looking at how it turns out now.
Ran Metal Blade in Europe.
Oh really? Oh
yeah.
shit, damn.
He signed, I think it was Amon Amarth.
Oh, Amon Amarth. Oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice. Oh wow.
him.
Okay.
So to Metal Blade Records, and he actually died. He had like pancreatic cancer.
Oh,
He
wow.
was gorgeous. So I met him at
Oh.
Foundations Forum. He
Oh
was a good
man.
looking guy, but he's gone now. And Brian, is it Brian Slagle? Yeah,
Brian Slagle. Yeah, I met him too. I met him at NAMM, and great dude.
Was
And-
he wearing hockey gear?
He was not. He was not. He was wearing a band shirt. I think he was wearing a Monomar shirt. I think he was. But
Okay.
yeah. But I gave
him.
him our demo. Like, well, when my old band, this was like 10 years ago, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, check it out." I'm like, "I really hope you do," but he probably didn't. He probably gets demos all the time. You know what I mean? He's
Right.
got people, messaging him, emailing him, but either way, just the opportunity to just shake the man's hand, I'm happy with that. You know what I mean? Just to
Yeah.
talk to him. Yeah.
Huh. Well, I'll have to listen to your stuff and see if
Absolutely.
if there's any way I can help you. I would love
So,
to.
thank you so much.
It's just because I've been around so long and I know people and have friends that have been in there. If I can help, and I love to help bands too. If I can help them,
I appreciate you.
because it's something that you want, and being on a label early on, and I was on several, Imai Toshiba in Japan, and I was on, when you license, and you can do that too. If you wanted to do that, you can have your own record label, you get your LLC, you get your record label, and then you license to other people. But the thing about that, being a young artist, is that you want that massive promotion. You want that, you need that, and you want someone to connect you, and it just makes you so much bigger. Back in the day, I was in Rip Magazine and Rock Hard, and I was in magazines all over the world, and that helped me a lot.
Yeah.
And for you too. And what do you think is the forum that makes a band the most successful? What do you think is the thing that has the most promotion? Is it a tour for you? Is it a video? What do you think?
I honestly think it's video, because
Okay.
people are seeing more, they're more stuck to this, you know what I mean? They're still, well, you can't see, well, my phone, they're stuck to that. Everything we do is on that, right?
Yes,
Email,
yeah.
social media, everything,
Yeah.
touring, yes, I think it's still important. I think it's, because, they got to feel you. They got to see you. They got to hear you, right? But for the most part, 90% of the music is gonna be on your phone. They're gonna access you. They gotta see what's going on, right? And the more content, the better, right? This is the age that we're at, right? And but how are you gonna stick out, right? Well, do some videos, right? Collaborate. I think collaborating is the biggest form of, like, hey, your audience, my audience, we're cool, let's get together, right? For example, like, oh, I have Kate on the next Burning Legion song or something, we got two, right? And then it's not only that, we make beautiful music. You know what I mean? So it's a win-win for everybody, you know what I mean?
Right.
So to me, that's what I think is going to be what's leading the way, right? It's just content, right? talking to other people, getting it out there more and more and more and more and more. But sometimes it's hard. Sometimes
What do you think about touring?
I think it's like, well, what do you mean, in like what aspect?
I mean, like if you could open for Metallica.
If I could, yeah, I would. Oh yeah, I mean, if I could open from, yeah, I would quit my day job in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, at where I'm at in my life with my family and with in respects to the other guys in the band, just being able to play a show, I'll be happy with it. You know what I mean? If I play for Metallica, cool, awesome, even awesome, right? I mean, shit, Pantera's opening up for Metallica right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just having the opportunity, like, hey, I played a show, I got the jam out, and if we sell some merch, awesome. We talk to some people after. That's all that matters, right? Yeah. But touring, I think, man, my thing, and it's kind of like what you said about your love for people. That's what I want to do. I want to bring the music to you. I want to be there with you. What are you going through, right? Because most of the stuff that I write about is a lot of mental health stuff, a lot of like anxiety, depression, stuff like that. That's very important. It's very, very important. And the rest of the world, they're kind of like, well, we don't really talk about that. We're talking about demons. We're talking about this. We're talking about that, which is cool. Like, you know what I mean? That's all good.
You can do what they want,
they could do what you want. But, the best bands, we're talking about real shit, like Sabbath, Metallica, all those bands that are talking about real shit. Trent Reznor, drug addiction, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love him.
Talk about real shit. And it's like, dude, if I tour and someone's like, dude, your music helped me get out of my anxiety, or I listen to this track because this is what pumps me up for work. Beautiful. Yeah. That's better than millions and millions of dollars, man. I don't give a shit about that.
What about in Europe? Have you looked in Europe? Have you looked at labels in Europe?
Yeah, I've tried. I've reached out to some of them are kind of like, like, you guys only got one single. I'm like, all right, that's cool. Like, just wait, motherfucker. Just wait until you get one.
It's never a matter of anything but connection. It's never a matter of your talent. It's never a matter. It really isn't that much. I mean,
no.
There are people that have been, it's a matter of who really. And it's just a matter of keeping and being social, and then connecting with the right person that's going to connect you with the person that will, get you to what you need to get to get the promotion that you need. But for a younger person, touring is a big thing. If you can do, a one-off tour somewhere, or do some festivals, the more people, because too, if someone sees you and sees what you're doing, and then they love it, they're going to buy your album and merch. You have your merch out, and that's how you make money. Most of the people, and my ex-husband is in Vicious Rumors, and so they make most of their money on
merch, right?
On merch, when you go out and you sell, and that's a way that you can make money, is really cool merch stuff. But they tour to this day, and they're older than I am. They're in their 50s and 60s, and and back to Winger again, they're touring and they're making money that way. I mean, you tour and then you get the tickets and stuff, but that does take you away from home. But I do think you're right, that there'll be a different side of things, where there's the people that just don't want to leave the house because of the fact that there are so many weird fucking things going on, and if that happens again too, you don't know. So we could flip switch to where the only thing that we're doing is home, and then you just focus on that and learning, your AI, and learning your algorithms and what you need to do to market yourself and to put yourself out there. So you get out there as much as possible. And I'm just thinking about the way that people do become famous, and how, and it's just really exposure. And
sorry to interrupt, Kate, but no, I mean, like, when it comes to me specifically, it's not about, like, I'm not really thinking fame, and I know you're not saying that, but for me, when it comes to
that's why I'm doing this, I'm like, fuck, it's hot.
When it comes to, like, it's not fame for me. It's more like, if I want to make this into a career, and I got 2 girls, I got my wife, and so it's like, I want them to see, like, damn, like, Matt is doing what he loves, and he's putting food on the table, right? Better life, right? Trust me, we're getting out of California. That's number one. But
are you really? Where are you gonna come?
I don't know. We're looking at possibly like Arizona and Washington, and anything cheaper, at this point, you know what I mean? But
come to Georgia.
Shit,
Come,
I'll see. I'll see what's up. I'll see what's up.
come to
Yeah.
Georgia, look at the home prices there. It's not so bad, but stay away from tornadoes.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
hardest thing. You know, they got
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
here's a house
It's
for
crazy.
$20,000 and there's tornadoes every other week.
Yeah, it's fine, whatever. Yeah. But yeah,
So,
no, Kate, I mean, thank you for asking me questions. You know, I've never
I
had a guest do that, you know, and
oh
yeah, I
yeah,
appreciate that. And I got to learn a lot about you. I do have to put a pin on it today if that's okay. You
yes,
know,
yes.
I really enjoyed it. You're a blessing. I had fun. This
You
was a
are so, and
blast.
I wish you much success. You know, if I can help you, I will. You know, I know how it is, and I know wanting to, you know, get your stuff out to as many people as you can. If there's any way I can help you, or
I
any person too, any young person with that, I want to do that.
I
So
appreciate you. Yeah.
I'll have to get your stuff and see what I can do. But if you can promote or play any of this, you know,
Oh,
coming
I will.
back or
Oh, you.
anything, that would be phenomenal. For Centrifugal is really good. And like I said, this is the new double CDs and animated Insanity Records and No Dust Records in Europe. And on our Facebook page on Vainglory, you can go on there and you can get a signed poster and some classic stuff, some vintage things with it, with the 2 CD for really cheap. So thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming on, Kate. This was great. You know, you set the standard pretty high for the first female on the heavy. So
Well, I am
we did it.
honored. I'm
Yeah,
honored.
yeah, yeah. So let me